Hi dear students, welcome again to our fifth lecture, which will be about the verb to have. The verb to have is very common in English because it's generally used as a verb in different situations as well as an important auxiliary verb. Now we move to speak about its main uses. الآن سنقوم بالتحدث عن أهم استعمالات هذا الفعل. أقصد الفعل to have. So to have can be used when we possess or own something. عندما نتحدث عن شيء نملكه. The verb to have can also be used when we eat or drink. عندما نشرب أو نأكل. The verb to have can also be used when we take or receive different things. عندما نأخذ أو نستقبل أشياء مختلفة. The verb to have can also be used to when we do something. عندما نقوم بفعل أو تجريب أشياء معينة. The verb to have can also be used when we make something happen. عندما نجعل أشياء تحدث. And the last point, the verb to have can be employed as an auxiliary verb for perfect tenses, and this point is going to be explained by the end of this video through examples. So you just follow me till the end. For the structure of the verb to have, we may say that it is an irregular verb as the verb to be. When referring to the singular form, we may say I have, you have, she has, he has, and it has. When referring to the plural form, we may say we have, you have, and they have. So this is what concerns the structure of the verb to have in the present simple. When making the negative form of the verb to have, you just add either don't or doesn't, as you do with all the other verbs except the verb to be. So when we refer to the singular form, we say I don't have, you don't have, he doesn't have, she doesn't have, or it doesn't have. When referring to the plural form, you say we don't have, you don't have, or they don't have. When making questions, we always use the auxiliary do or does. For instance, you say, do I have, do you have, does he have, does she have, or does it have? When referring to the plural form, you say, do we have, do you have, or do they have? For the past form of to have, we may say that to have is generally considered as an irregular verb. Within this table, I'm going to show you the past simple as well as the past participle of to have. So the infinitive to have, or the base form, is to have. The past simple of to have is had, and its past participle is also had. Now we move to shed light on the main uses of to have, or why do we need to use to have. So let's start with the first use, which is to describe things we own and possess. نستعمل to have عندما نريد أن نتحدث عن أشياء نملكها. I'm going to explain through the following examples. So let's start with the first example. You have 3 sisters, don't you? أنت تملك 3 أخوات، أليس كذلك؟ The next example, they have many factories in Spain. When translating this example into Arabic, we say إنهم يملكون مصانع كثيرة في إسبانيا. And the last example, does he have an apartment or a house for renting? هل يملك شقة أو بيت للإيجار? So as you notice that within the 3 examples we are using to have, or the verb to have, in order to show or to indicate possession. نستعمل الفعل to have من أجل أو للدلالة على أشياء مختلفة نملكها أو نمتلكها. The second use is when we substitute or indicate eating and drinking. Examples, I have a coffee and a cake for breakfast. وعني بذلك أريد أن أشرب قهوة وأخذ كعكة على الفطور. The second example, we will have the fish soup as starter please. أو نريد أن نتناول حساء السمك في البداية من فضلك. The last example, let's have a snack before the match. أو دعنا نتناول وجبة خفيفة قبل المباراة. So here within these examples we are using to have in order to indicate different things we eat or we drink. The third use is when we take or receive different things. Examples: he has a new role in the company. لقد شغل منصبا جديدا في الشركة. The second example, we have some bad news. لدينا بعض الأخبار السيئة. The following example, try to have a phone call from your boss. حاول أن تجري مكالمة أو تقوم بمكالمة هاتفية مع رئيسك في العمل. So as you notice that to have is used within the three examples in order to indicate or in order to speak about different things you take or you receive. يعني يمكن استعمال الفعل to have من أجل الدلالة على أشياء مختلفة نأخذها أو نستقبلها أو نتقلدها. The fourth use is when we do or experience different things. عندما نقوم أو نجرب أشياء مختلفة. Examples: they will have an exam on Monday morning. سيمتحنون صباح يوم الاثنين. The next example, I'm going to have a shower before I go to bed. In Arabic we say سأستحم قبل أن أخلد للنوم. The final example, when it's hot I should have a swim in the sea. عندما يكون الجو حارا يجب أن أسبح في البحر. So within these examples we are using to have in order to speak about the different things we do or we experience. أي نستعمل الفعل to have من أجل الحديث عن أشياء وتجارب مختلفة نقوم بها في حياتنا اليومية. The fifth use is when we make things happening أو عندما نجعل الأشياء تحدث. Examples: she has a staff to prepare the report once a month. أعني لديها طاقم لإعداد التقارير مرة واحدة في الشهر. The second example, how often do you have your hair cut? أو كم مرة تقص شعرك. The third example, we are having our house painted at the moment. أو نقوم بطلاء بيتنا في الوقت الحالي. So as you notice that within the three examples we are using the verb to have in order to talk about the things we make them happening. أو نستعمل الفعل to have من أجل الحديث عن الأشياء المختلفة التي نجعلها تحدث. Now we move to speak about the verb to have, which can be used as an auxiliary verb to make perfect tenses. And I mean by perfect tenses the present perfect or the past perfect, for instance. Let's explain through the following examples. The first sentence, I have seen this film twice till now. لقد رأيت هذا الفيلم مرتين حتى الآن. Within this example, I'm using the auxiliary have in the present simple plus the past participle of the verb to see, that is seen, in order to refer to present perfect. I repeat, present perfect. The second sentence, she has lived here for 9 years, or لقد عاشت هنا لمدة 9 سنوات. The same thing here, we are using the auxiliary have in the present simple, and here I'm using has because of she, plus the past participle of the verb to live, that is lived, in order to refer to the present perfect. I repeat, the present perfect. The final example, you had already left when I arrived. كنت قد غادرت بالفعل عندما وصلت. Within this example, I'm using the auxiliary have in the past, that is had, plus the past participle of the verb to leave, that is left, in order to indicate past perfect. I repeat, we are using the auxiliary have in the past, that is had, plus the past participle of the verb to leave, that is left, in order to refer to past perfect. Past perfect. Now we move to speak about have got. When we refer to things we own and possess, a common alternative to have is have got. It's probably more common in British English, than in American English. يعني تستعمل كثيرا في الإنجليزية البريطانية وليس في الإنجليزية الأمريكية. And have got can be considered as informal language. يعني يمكن استعمال هذه الجملة في الأماكن الغير الرسمية وليس الأماكن الرسمية. The meaning is the same. So when we say have or have got نعني or نقصد نفس الشيء. But the formation of the structure changes for the questions and negatives. يعني la formation or la structure when we make questions or negatives changes. They don't have the same structure when asking or making negatives. So let's have a quick look at its structure. When referring to the singular form, you say I have got or I've got, you have got or you've got, he has got, she has got or it has got, or he's got, she's got or it's got. When referring to the plural form, you say we have got or we've got, you have got or you've got, or they have got or they've got. When making the negative form for have got, we just add the word not. I'm going to explain better. When saying I haven't got, you haven't got, he hasn't got, she hasn't got, or it hasn't got. On the other hand, when referring to the plural form, you say we haven't got, you haven't got, they haven't got. You remember that when using have or making the negation of the verb to have, you add either do or does plus not. But when making the negation for have got, you add just not without any auxiliary. You can't say I do not have got. No, I haven't got. You can't say they do not have got. It's a big mistake in English. You either say they haven't got or they have not got. When asking questions, we just invert the subject and have. For example, you say have I got, have you got, has he got, has she got, or has it got. When referring to the plural form, you say have we got, have you got, or have they got. So here within these examples, you are just inverting the subject and have. You are not adding the auxiliary do or does. Here are some examples of have got. The first sentence, have you got a pen I can borrow? هل تملك قلم يمكنني استعارته منك? The second example, he has got 3 sisters and 1 brother. يملك 3 أخوات وأخ واحد. The third example, we haven't got enough time to work till the station. أو لا نملك الوقت الكافي لنمشي حتى المحطة. And the final example, I've got a meeting at 3 p.m. أو لدي اجتماع على الساعة 3 بعد الظهر. Before I leave, I invite you to provide your own sentences in which you indicate the main uses of the verb to have. Thanks for paying attention and goodbye.